Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I appreciate you taking a few minutes and just hearing me out here, so to speak. What we're going to do is a very factual presentation between Asea, I think that's how you say it, and APL Go. It's Sunday afternoon. I'm taking it easy. I've been thinking about a lot of friends that I have that I really sincerely feel should be with us right now and aren't. And so I wanted to just do this presentation just to know I've done the best I can do and kind of get it out of my head so I can continue to move forward. I understand if you have accomplished all that you wanted to accomplish building a network marketing team. You're a presidential triple diamond. You're making all the money that you ever wanted to make. Maybe you're semi-retired, uh, and you're committed and loyal and dedicated to SIA. I totally respect that and understand that. But for most of you listening to this, that's not the case. So the real question is not which opportunity is going to create the most millionaires in the next 5 years. I think that the answer to that question is pretty obvious. I sincerely do. The real question is, this is what I hope you'll think about, is do you have the ability to pivot? Now, I understand it's uncomfortable and it's emotional, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, do you have that ability or not? And if you don't, why? I mean, I've realized there's some of you that are watching this that have never left a company until the company went out of business or was closing its doors. You've never made the pivot. And if you don't have that ability, why not? And is that an emotional reason, whatever your reason is, or is it a business decision? And I hope you'll spend some time and really think about that. You know, John Maxwell said the quality of our life depends upon the quality of questions we ask ourselves and then answer them truthfully, unemotionally would be another way to say it. Jim Rohn said, you have to love people enough to tell them what they need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear. I believe that's the call of leadership, the call of friendship. And I hope you take what I'm going to be sharing with you in the spirit in which it's intended. Those of you that know me well would probably expect nothing less. I want you to understand, I sincerely don't need you. I don't. I'd love to work with you. And I sincerely believe you should be here. But I'm not making this video. I'm not making this for me. It's for you. You know, last month, Dawn and I were the number one recruiters in the world with APL Go. And more importantly, we also had the highest reorder rate, which means the systems and retention systems and the customer acquisition systems we're putting into place are working for our 27 percenters. And I know some of you know exactly what I say, what I mean when I say that. The only reason I'm here and I'm asking you to just consider what I'm saying is the stars have lined up. 6 weeks ago, I contacted the number one website broker in the United States, and I was putting together my 15, 16 different websites for the network marketing business model, preparing them to liquidate, sell all my intellectual property, all the trainings, all the websites. And Dawn and I were moving in a totally different direction, 100%. Um, I talked to some friends about it. That's the direction I needed to go. And then this comes along, and it's like, I am so thankful because I love building businesses, but I really love building teams. I love building teams, but I'm not going to spend my time, energy, and effort in something that doesn't allow me the opportunity to help people really make legacy income and really make a huge positive impact not just for themselves, but for future generations of their family. So when I say the stars have lined up, maybe I am one of the few people that have been around long enough to understand what that really means. So when you look at APLGo and the negative ion science behind it, Dr. Earl Mendel's book here, you're seeing the happiness effect. It's why we feel better when we're at the ocean or at the beach or in the mountains. It's because of the negative ions in the atmosphere and the fact that uh, we have the patents and the technology and the manufacturing facility to infuse these into candies that create immediate gratification, nutrition, kind of speaks for itself. The product is phenomenal. People love it. They love taking it. Now, as it relates to a CEA or Asea or whatever you want, ASEA, I'm sorry again. I apologize. I don't know how to uh, pronounce it. And you see people saying, well, they're just selling, high price salt water. I don't believe that. I think the technology is there to support the product. The science is behind it. And in this industry, you have the majority are Me Too products. They just slap somebody's label on whatever product manufactured by whoever. They create a comp plan and they call themselves a company. But then you have some companies, not very many, but some that are based upon true science. And ASEA, from all indications, from just looking at it from a neutral perspective, I believe their science is very, very solid, and I believe the science is what created the buzz to start with regarding the product. So let's say we're even, or I'll even give you an advantage with ASEA for because you're going to need it. Uh, and again, I hate to come from this perspective, but it's guys, please hear what I'm saying. So the product is the product. How many awesome companies have launched in this profession over the years with phenomenal products and never created any kind of momentum, any kind of real opportunity for their distributors? So let's look at the compensation plan. When I say it is the best compensation plan I have seen in 40 years, I mean it. The best. Nothing can compare to it. I had the guy say, well, Dale, y'all are going to start making NSA type money. And I said, this blows NSA away. You don't understand the comp plan. It's not just the percent that they pay out, but it's the way it's paid. It's genius. You can tell it was created by someone that spent time in the field. But third-party source, incomefromhome.org, documented 63% payout. I think anybody would agree that building a team is building a team. It's the same work. Sure, team culture and there's other things that go into it, but it's the work is the work. So we have a 63% payout with APL Go. For the same work, you're looking at 35%. 35% with ASEA. SEA. 63%, 35%. So the stars have lined up for me because it is the best compensation plan I have seen in 40 years. This is something that's not talked about enough, but the owner, Sergio, started in the field when he was 17 years old. His story is unbelievable. He has one goal. He talks about it every time I've ever heard him, and it's I want to create more millionaires with my company than any network marketing company in history. Most owners, their only concern is how do we keep people on auto ship one more month? How do we keep them engaged? This guy, I love him. Everything about him, where he's coming from. And he understands he has the products. He owns a manufacturing facility, he has the products and the comp plan to make that dream a reality. I have no doubt it's going to happen. And again, compare it with most corporate ownership or groups are traditional corporate managers who see network marketing. They understand the return on cost of goods sold, and they look at the numbers and they decide they're going to start a network marketing company. Maybe they worked at Kraft Foods or in finance or whatever, which appears to be the background of Asea. They never spent time in the field, and that's something that you should never underestimate. It's not a deal breaker one way or the other, but the fact that you have ownership that has spent time in the field and understands that the distributors write his check is a huge, huge benefit. But the bottom line again is do you want to make 35% of the volume you create, or do you want to make 63%? The same work. And I would argue that a $40 auto ship and candy infused immediate gratification nutritional products are a much easier sale. But again, I'm going to say that we won't even go that. But I would say that the people love the products. They absolutely love the products. They taste phenomenal, like all of them, all 15 drops, and they work. The results people are getting, the products work, the technology's solid, $40 auto ship, and the rest kind of speaks for itself. But the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. So let's just look at the numbers real quick. Look at the data. Let me go here. So this is Asea, and if you look at the numbers based upon Google Trends and data, I mean, to me, it looks like they came out with a bang. Everybody's talking about the science, the science, the science, the water, the science. I remember when it happened, and then it did what most companies do. They had significant drops, and then some leader must have come along here, and you can see, then they almost hit a peak again right here in 2014. So the first year was, they launched hard, a lot of momentum, reality set in. It's the same work. It's the same work. So the people that were looking for a money grab or something for nothing or new ground floor opportunity to make them rich instead of understanding it's the same work, it's typical. I mean, you see these type of patterns. But if you go down here and you look August, September, and then you look, September, you can see August it had a dip, but you can see where the trend line is here. And if you compare where it is right in here, the last few years, going back to 2000, all the way to 2020, you look at the trend line, it's just kind of flattened out compared to when it started. Okay, it is what it is. It just is what it is. Now, if we type in, and again, this is not apples to apple comparison, I will give you that because APL Go is officially just launched, and you can see what's happening right here. Okay, they tried to launch from Russia back here. They couldn't get anything established and going. They've tried a couple of times over the years to launch, and then finally the owner said, "To heck with it. My dream's always been to go to America." A year and a half or so ago, he moved his 3 kids and his wife to Florida. They got all the FDA certifications, attorneys in place, did everything as clean as possible, and said, "Okay, we're going to launch." It's actually in a soft launch right now, but you can see the trend, and I know where this trend's going. I have absolutely no doubt. Why? Because the product, customers love the product. The comp plan is the best I have seen in 40 years. Okay, this is Dale saying it. It's not I've been doing this a while, guys, as you know. So let's get back to what I wanted to cover. I'm going to wrap it up here. Uh, just bear with me for a minute. So, I guess the reason I'm so passionate about this is we all have heard about the bell curve. We've all heard about momentum. We've all heard about, when a company formulates and then it moves into, it eventually moves into a state of momentum, and that's when people's checks go from 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month, and so on and so forth. And we've all seen that. And some of you have rode that wave perhaps in the past. I've been very fortunate. Uh, I've rode that wave. I understand what it means when that happens. Now, to neglect the timing of an opportunity, in my opinion, is the worst mistake a network marketing leader can make. And I say leader because every one of you that are going to be seeing this video, hopefully, are friends of mine that I consider leaders. The worst mistake a leader can make is to neglect the timing of an opportunity. As you guys know, I started in Shackley. I had the opportunity to get involved in Herbalife, be the second distributor in Herbalife in the state of Kentucky. The second one. I loved it, but I was committed to my team. I was loyal. I was dedicated. I didn't jump around. I had my bonus car. I'd been to San Francisco. I loved the owners. Blah, 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 blah. Now, at the time, those emotional decisions made sense to me, and I stayed. Uh, I was at the Art Williams, A.L. Williams office, the first one in Lexington before it opened, the RSVP, did everything in the world to recruit me, and I was wanting to go. I really did, but I didn't. I loved their mission, buy term, invest the rest. I loved everything about it. But again, for the same emotional reasons, I stayed. Then NSA came along. NSA, I saw it 2 years before I joined. NSA was around, and some Herbalife people, some of the top Herbalife people, uh, came to NSA and got that program off the ground. If it wasn't for Herbalife distributors, that company may never have done. None of us would probably even know what it was. But I saw it 2 years before I joined. I let it pass me by for 2 years. Now, when I got involved, I did well. I made over 10,000 my first month. I never made less. We had the fastest growing organization in the company when they decided to move into a transition into a Juice Plus product, which it's known as Juice Plus today, not NSA. And I just couldn't do it. And I was making over $25,000 a month, whether I walked out of my house or not. And it was hard to leave that type of income to start over on the ground floor. Very hard. It's very emotional. I told all my team members, this is what I have to do, but you should stay where you are. I had a lot of full-time earners, over 10,000 people on my team in 3 countries. It was not a hard decision, but it was a business decision. It wasn't an emotional decision. It was a business decision to start over. And, my last check from that company was over 25,000. My first check for my new company was $683. I think $683. My wife, my parents, everybody knew I'd gone crazy. But I told them, look, if it works, I'll never have to worry about money again. It'll make me a millionaire. And if it doesn't work, I have the skill sets and the mindsets. I'll find something else that I can do. So again, I understand and respect loyalty. I've had people say, well, Dale, my team's just depending on me. Well, look, if it's the best move for you, it's the best move for your team. Dale, I don't jump around. I know you don't. That's why I contacted you to begin with. But there's a difference between jumping around and pivoting when the stars line up. There's a difference. But Dale, I just love the owner and I love the company. I understand that. There's, you can create that same type of emotion can be created and that love can be created and will be created wherever you end up. It's not like you lose it. I think it just strengthens. And again, the 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 one message I guess I would want to communicate to any leader that's ever watching this, because this was hard for me to learn, and most leaders never learn this. You will never achieve your potential when you're making decisions in an emotional state. Let me say that again. You will never achieve your potential as a leader when you make your decisions based upon an emotional state. You have to look at it from a business perspective. And I never did that until I made the horrifying, scary decision to leave National Safety Associates and start with New Image. And again, guys, the rest is history. We made millions of dollars. We created an organization of over 60,000 people. We had over 200 six-figure earners on our personal team. Why? Because I was able to make a business decision and not be bound by the emotions. The only reason that I'm making this video and the only reason I landed here is because the stars have truly lined up, and it just doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen very often. And I am so thankful that it has happened because, again, I love building teams, but I'm not going to waste my time grinding something out. I want to have something where people can sincerely become millionaires in 5 years. That it has that opportunity in front of me, or I don't want to mess with it. And that's why, I've said many times to many people over the last 30 days, and they agree, many, the industry's been waiting for this company for over 20 years. And I sincerely believe that. But I can tell you, even if the stars had lined up, if this was a USA startup, I wouldn't be here. A lot of us have seen a lot of companies that had tremendous upside potential. Potential. I was with one company that had tremendous potential, but you had Mo, Larry, and whatever his other name, Mo, and Larry. The three stooges were running the thing. So everything has to line up. You can't just have a phenomenal product. There's a lot of companies that have phenomenal products. All the stars have to line up. All of them. If you really want to go all in and you really want to achieve your full upside potential. So the number one reason I'm here is real simple. The track record of this company, 8-year-old European company, done over $250 million in sales since they started, over 57 million last year. Six-figure earners already have been monthly earners have already been established. They own their own manufacturing. I could go on and on and on. But I heard a preacher one time. He said, if we could see the future, we would all be financially independent. We could all become millionaires. And I felt like standing on my pew and just yelling, no, no, we wouldn't. Not if we don't take advantage of what we see. I have the crystal ball. I can look at the 8-year track record of this company, what's already happened in 30 countries around the world. I know what's getting ready to happen in the United States. And any business minded person that can get their emotions out of it and just look at the facts should be able to see what I see in the crystal ball. But guys, I'm not trying to be rude or crude. I'm just trying to tell you the way it is. So, you know what we're going to do. If you're watching this, you know what we're going to do. You have no doubt what we're going to do. You understand the leadership development culture and systems that will be in place, many already are, to help every 27%er, and you know what that means, on your team achieve their full upside potential. My 5-year goal, 500 full-time earners, 10 millionaires. That's my goal. That's my goal. And I love the fact that I'm saying it now early in the beginning. So I hope that you'll call me, get your questions answered. You have my number if you're watching this, or you can complete the form over at APLGoUSA.com. I hate to think that there's some friends of mine that should be here that miss it. It just bothers me. But I've gotten it out of my system today. The ball's in your court. And I hope you guys know, every one of you watching this, I hope you understand that no matter what, Don and I are in your corner. We always want what's best for you and your family, absolutely, positively, no matter what. And we hope you believe that and understand that, and we believe you do. That's why I felt the liberty to make this and to just communicate to the very best of my ability what I know is getting ready to happen and why I believe that you should be here with us.